Alrighty. What are we doing today on the Ryker? Well, given the amount of crap I had to bring out, it looks like it's going to be involved. And it is. So, here we have the left side fender. And about a year ago, because it was my first video, was this clip repair. There's a little clip right in here. And the clip fell out. It's rubbing against the wheel. And yeah, long story short, it broke off the last time I had a VSS code fault. And here it is again. Maybe you get in there. You see that clip right there? This is the factory clip, right? And it clipped into a little piece of plastic right up in here. That broke off. This thing was like hanging out just like it is now. And I had glued this back onto the tab. It lasted about a year. So, what are we doing? We're going to do something that I really dread doing, but it seems like it's going to be necessary. We're going to install this, which means I'm going to wrap these wires in this clip, remove this clip, drill a hole somewhere in here. We're going to drill a hole somewhere in here on the inside, and I'm going to rivet. I'm going to rivet this clip into this plastic fender. So there's going to be a little rivet head right around here, and quite frankly, that will be a very permanent solution to the problem. And it's not going to vibrate loose, it's not going to break off, and I'm going to use an aluminum rivet because it's in the wheel well. I don't want it to rust over the years. It's softer, so it shouldn't pull through the plastic. You know, this plastic isn't exactly thin, so it should be okay. And then these will be tucked in. I'm thinking only one. There is a channel in here, but that channel sucks. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna peel off this glue, you know, get the wire in there, tuck it in nice, and that'll be that. So once again, got to take this damn fender off, but got the power tools today. Not messing around. You know, I've said it in my previous videos, do not use power tools to drive your bolts in. Removing them is a different story. So just took the bolts out right there, and there's 4 of them. You know, I had when I took this off before, I did Loctite them in. So, but they cracked off with no problem. 13mm socket, a couple of extensions. Yeah, Loctite everywhere. And now the fender is loose and off. So let's go see what the horror show is. Yep. I see a little hole right there. And quite frankly, I think that's the hole I'm going to use to secure these wires. And this portion right here, that's where the clip attached originally. Okay? So, yeah, I think I'm gonna drill out that little hole right there, and that's where the clip's gonna go. And you can see that this is clipped in there kind of sturdier than this little clip. I didn't realize that was zip tied originally, but you can see that the channel is very, very small, you know. And of course, the Ryker is currently in VSS fault. I had the guy order the part kit, so just waiting for that to show up and we'll get that fixed. So let me get in there, cut that clip off, drill that hole out, and then hope for the best. Okay, so there's the quarter-inch clip right there. That's what we're going to be installing. Yeah, so it'll sit right about there and clip that this group to the fender like that. Obviously I can't do this and hold this camera at the same time, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Like I said, there is a little hole right there, and that's gonna be my guide. So I'm gonna pop this little clip right into that hole, and then pop the rivet in from the outside with this clip on the inside, and that'll be that. And like I said, that's a mechanical fastener, and if I do it right, it ain't never coming out. Hole's been drilled there. There's a little hole right there. We're gonna put this little rivet in there. You can see a little pot rivet head right there. You know, I'll put that little clip on there with a metal washer. Well, let's give it a shot and see how it turns out. Maybe something good, maybe something bad. So there you go. The wire's bent over. Looks good. And that's that. And if I have to pull it out, then I can. So next thing is to reinstall this and check it for clearance, which I think it should be fine. It doesn't appear to be able to move. That clip feels solid enough. It really just can't vibrate loose, you know. And God forbid something happens, I could just drill out that pot rivet and put a new one in. Like I said, this glue job was the you know, the shop. That wasn't me. I don't see this ever coming out, but I thought that the first time, so we'll see. There was a wire, thank God it was the ground wire, that was rubbed, so I just rewrapped that. Okay, so now I'm going to reattach this thing. I just got this pressed up against, and I hope you could see in there, but there's no clearance issues. Yeah, this is, you know, you got to stay inside this lip right here. And that's all I got. That little pimple, which I will get some matte black paint and take care of. Clearance doesn't seem to be a problem. You have to go in through the wheel over here. Hopefully you can see my fingers. You got to go over and down into this area. Hope you can see this, guys. But you got to go into this area, make sure that these are the important wires. This loom right here kind of clamps in between the fender and the metal, and that looks good. You know, there appears to be clearance. This side's done, problem solved. Next is that side over there, where we're going to do the exact same thing for the exact same reason. This side we went a little differently, because that clip is still on there pretty damn good. It hasn't bounced off yet. And since it's already on there, I'm gonna leave it, okay? It feels pretty damn solid. My epoxy job, and then what the guy had slattered all over the fucking place this time. But since I'm out here, and for the sake of symmetry, I installed the clip. So it's in the exact same location on this side as that side. And I'll be honest with you guys, I think there's actually metal inside this plastic. Yeah, I think there is, because when I drilled through it, it wasn't easy. I mean, it wasn't difficult, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't as like going through plastic. So I think there's actually metal sandwiched in there, which would make sense, I guess, for reinforcement. So this one is really just pretty much straightforward. We're just going to reattach this and call it a day. And I hate to be pessimistic, but wait for this to break. And I don't know if I showed you on the other side, but right here is a channel, and these wires, you know, it goes right into this groove right there, and that's what captures your wires and gets mounted. That's all old Loctite, you know. So that wire bundle gets sandwiched in here. You know, they come from this side around here and over here. So hopefully you found this informative. I really hope you don't have to do this. It's not that much of a pain in the ass, especially since I've been in here before, so I know what I'm doing. You know, but I didn't want to drill holes in plastic before, so you got to do what you got to do. Well, here's a list of, or partial listing of all the crap I got, because as in everything else, I didn't know how I was going to proceed. Was I going to drill a hole and use actual screws, washers, lock nuts? Was there a way I could probably use these little more screws and washers, different pop rivets, all because of this piece of shit that didn't hold. This little clip right here did not hold onto the plastic, and this is the cause of everything that's wrong in the world. All that work for, you know, this little clip. So then I got the clips, you know, this is like 3/8 and this is like 1/4 of an inch, I don't know. Oh, by the way, little tip, you buy these things in these little baggies and you have leftovers, you probably butchered the bag, staple it closed. Get a stapler and just fold it over and staple it. It's hard to believe that, like I said, that first video was a year ago, and my repair held almost a year. And I knew when I did it, it wasn't the most drastic or permanent of fixes. It was like the least I could do, since the factory clip wasn't holding. So what are you gonna do? Hopefully that's the last we hear about this stupid wire thing. Like I said, I really hope that this was not helpful, because like, I don't wish anyone to have problems with their vehicles. But you know, if you do have the problem, there's your solution. Maybe, and not for nothing, this thing was actually discussed with the mechanic. I said, if I have to bring this back, you know, if this doesn't hold, this is what I want you to do. But I didn't feel like waiting, even though the Ryker is going back to the shop for the VSS kit. So, but I'd rather do it myself.